Hey there!
I'm Sunny.
I'm Skylar.
And together,
We're Crushcast, aka the Vixens of Crush Publications.
Join us today for another fun time with Crush.
Hi there, it's best-selling author Sunny A. Morgan and Skylar Quinn coming together to discuss the joys of erotica in literature. Today's topic, we're going to discuss marketing and erotic authors.
And today's sponsor is the Ake Group and their new series that they have coming out, The Hot Wife Cruise. And this series has 7 different authors: Paul Garland, G.K. Grayson, Kirsten McCurran, Skylar Quinn, and Dolores Swallows, Hardison Parker, and Kenny Wright. Step aboard the Princess of adventure for a winter cruise through the sun-drenched Caribbean. So that should be fun.
It is fun.
Yeah.
So,
sounds fun, exciting.
Always good to collaborate.
Yes.
What kind of books did you have come out last week, Sunny, or this week?
Well, last week I had Submitting to My Stalker. It's different for me.
Stalker, how fun!
Yeah. Well, I found it in my writing. I had it from a long time ago. I'd started it. And when I was going through old USBs, I saw the story that I started. I was like, why don't I finish it? So I finished it. So that came out last week. It's a little different for me. I mean, I know I do like dubious consent and things like that, but this one's just a little bit different.
Is it a little darker?
It is, and it has like a little bit of a twist at the end, so that, everybody who needs their disclaimers and trigger warnings will be happy with the ending. And I'm really not saying that. I know that came out like I was trying to say that as in being a smartass, but I really wasn't trying to say that in that way, but it did kind of sound that way. And then this week I have coming out is the first book in my new series for cheating spouses. It's Not My Husband, First Time Hot Wife. So that is coming out the 31st.
That's exciting.
It is. How about you?
So last week I had my collaboration with Logan Black and our buddy Rain Chan with Crush to Skylar Quinn. It is my Wizard of Oz, what I would call it. Would I call it a fantasy? Because it's not exactly like how I would want everything to happen, but I guess it is how Skylar would want everything to happen because she's
maybe a little fan fiction.
Maybe, yeah. It is definitely one of the most raunchiest stories I've written in quite some time. And it was a lot of fun in that regard, just because it was just different. And it was fun to think of different ways to bring in the movie aspect to it and a bit of the book too. So if you're a book fan, there'll be a little thing in there for you. If you're only a movie fan, you might be a little confused. So that was fun for me. And then this week, Sean and I have our 5th book, A Most Dangerous Affair, which is the sequel to A Most Dangerous Game, which I'm so excited about because I love this book. I loved writing it. It almost didn't happen, so I'm really glad it did. And I can't wait to start book 3 of this little nasty series. Fun. It also has a little filth in it, come to think about it. Some of the car ride scenes are a little filthy as I think about it. I don't know what was up with me in the last few months.
Well,
who knows?
You write erotica, so.
I guess I do. but I mean, it's really good, really fun.
That's
stuff
fun.
Coming out. Yeah.
Exciting. Yeah.
I know. We just keep the ball rolling.
Yeah, we do. I'm amazed when I looked at my schedule of everything that I have ready to upload that I can only do 3 a day now. So
is that new?
It is
I don't
new
because
before I did the whole Sanctuary series in one day, and it wasn't an issue.
For those of you listening who don't know what we're talking about,
yeah.
Sunny and I both came across in our KDP uploads that now we can only upload 3 books a day. I haven't tested it to see, is it update also counted in those 3, or is it just straight 3 new books? I haven't tested it yet.
I haven't tested that either, so I'm not sure. But yeah, so that's a little I would hope it's not updates because it's already there. And that
Yeah,
can
I
really
would hope
screw you
not.
up if you're updating like if you have pre-orders and you're updating your files. I mean, it can really mess up things.
Exactly. Like this morning, Logan and I changed the title of book 3 of our Untying the Knot because apparently we're into choking all of a sudden. So we changed 3 from tease to choke. And so I went and I changed that. And then I also got ready for my sales for Book Spry. So I dropped some stuff to 99 cents. And I realized I changed 3 books. I'm like, ooh, does that mean I can't upload anything now?
Yeah.
Because I've now altered 3 books. I mean, not that I have anything that I need to upload right now, but it just made me think about it. I don't know.
Yeah. Hopefully not. Hopefully it's just new ones.
Hopefully. That'd be a
So,
big pain in the ass.
yeah, definitely. Definitely.
And Amazon, always a friend to the authors
Always something there's
that we
going
support
on.
their platform with.
Yeah. Always something new. But,
Yeah, there should be like a
we always
support
figure
group.
it out. Yeah.
There should be a support group, an
There
Amazon
probably
support
is
group.
one. Yeah, there probably is one for indie authors. Yeah.
You know, I wonder, like, how do like the publishing houses get away with, like, I know they can't be treated the way we're treated. I know
No,
they
I'm
can't
sure they
be.
have. I mean, there's probably different rules, just like there are different rules for certain like indie authors who make it to a certain level. I mean, they get their own concierge person, and so it's like, so there's different rules depending on how, I don't know, lucrative you are.
It's annoying.
Yeah,
So annoying.
but that's how
You know
the
what
world
annoys me the
runs.
most is the 99 cents only getting 35% profit share. That irritates me so much. But I think
Right.
I screwed that up because I was dropping my Fantastic down to 99 cents because I have the sale. And I don't remember if I clicked the 35% profit share or not. So I don't know what that's going to do because it took the upload, but I know I did not click the 35 cent or 35%. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
We'll see,
it's
Amazon.
always, yeah, it's always something.
I
So.
don't think readers generally understand like how much actually goes into the backside of all of the stories they like reading.
Right, because sometimes the writing is the easy part.
All of
So
the
the
time,
other
pretty much.
stuff,
The writing is the
yeah.
easy part.
Um, I mean, there's been a few times when the writing is not, like for me, but for the most part, the writing is the easy part. It's all the other stuff, the formatting and the marketing and the advertising
The
and
covers and the uploads and
the
the making
covers
sure you get
and
everything the way they want it.
right. And yeah, making sure that if you're doing it, if you're going to go wide with it through different platforms, that there is,
Yep.
that you're not breaking any rules,
I
and
now
if you're
do
going to
2
do KU,
formats.
that everything's still, separated.
I do 2 formats to make sure I'm not breaking any of those rules now. And thank God for Vellum, they make it so easy for me to do the 2 formats. But it's annoying.
Yeah.
Like, so frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can't take like your file that you may have done in Kindle Create and put it into Draft to Digital because it has like the meta from
Well, and
Kindle
even
or
then, if you have in your author bio your Amazon link, Apple kicks it out.
yeah.
And did you hear about what Barnes and Noble did now with their search engine?
Yeah. Yeah, the searching for readers searching for erotica, yeah, the whole
So, readers,
crap.
if you don't know, if you use Barnes and Nobles to search your smut, you have to have an account at Barnes and Nobles, and you have to go into that account and change your settings to allow erotica.
Yeah.
And then and only then will your smut appear, which is
Yeah.
annoying.
It is very annoying. But that's kind of like where we're at. I mean, I guess it's better than blocking us completely. Like Amazon will just block us completely
And not tell us.
and put us in a dungeon and, searching for a book and you're never able to find it. So, I mean, at least at Barnes and Noble, readers have a choice to go in and update their search engines, which I hope they do. And we just have to
If
keep
they know
telling
about.
people. Yeah, I mean, it's something we just have to keep telling people about and
I
putting it out
laughed so
there.
much last week because I posted this on Facebook and someone commented, "Thank you for doing God's work." I'm like, well, whatever
I
we can
know.
do for our books to get to you.
Yeah, I know. I saw like the post everywhere and I was like, hopefully. we're just going to have to keep doing it periodically, putting that out there for people that may have missed it.
And the crazy part is that is part of marketing that a lot of people don't think about.
Yeah,
is
because
teaching your readers how to find you.
right, exactly. And finding your readers who are willing to do that too. Go through that
Yep.
extra step. Because we want it to be easy for you to find us. And
I want to go to Barnes and Nobles and I want to go search for Outlander because they have some dirty shit in those books. And or Game of Thrones and see if those just automatically pop up with
they
I know,
automatically
and it
pop
just pisses
up.
me off.
They
Back
do.
to those double rules.
I mean,
it's annoying.
well, I mean,
I'm gonna
it's
go do it right now.
it is like we've talked about before. It's this like the bigger story that goes along with it is why. And that's why, like, we talk about romance. Like, there's some romance out there that their scenes are way more
Way worse.
graphic and filthy, and they have some triggers that are way different than any that I would have that are kind of freaky. And they're there, but it's because it's a bigger book. It's they it gets kind. I think the sex kind of gets lost in everything else.
So I'm on my work laptop looking because I don't have anything logged in there, right? And so Skylar Quinn has 5 books on Barnes and Nobles. Three of them are ours. Big Bad Wolf #2, then Our Christmas in July and Our Merry Kinkmas. So those are all kind of bigger books. But then my Celestial Love, which is my 3 groups, and then Under the Moon, Taken Under the Moon. So all of those are big books.
Yeah.
Comparatively.
Yeah. So
annoying.
Yeah, it is. But yeah, I mean that's kind of brings us into our topic today of marketing, that it's so much more than
you have 9. You have 9 books on yours. So our 3 that we shared, then The Witch is Back, Justice, Eric, Bear, and Blood Myth, and Serena.
Yeah.
Back to that link.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's what it is. I wonder why
so with marketing
sanctuary isn't up there.
I don't know. But so with marketing, how do you think you get around all of this? Like, what do you do to circumvent all these blocks that we have in our system?
I mean, constantly having to look at the rules, figure out the rules, figure out them when they change. Yes, interpret them and try to interpret them the way that Amazon or Drafted Digital or whoever, Apple, anyone is saying that they are, because they're always very vague. So making
but at
sure
least
that
Drafted Digital is very good. If you ask for help, they will help you.
Yeah,
because in my last upload, I remember what I was uploading. I was like, I made sure I had no competitor links. Like, what are you talking about? And they're like, right here, you had it for your author page, and Apple's rejected it. So they like gave me the page number and everything. So they were at least very, very helpful.
Yeah.
When asking for help, I never get that from Amazon. Ever.
Yeah, I don't either. And I mean, and they're really helpful as in telling you what Amazon or other places will not accept. Yes. When you publish through them. So that's great too, because a lot of the, Amazon is just like, read the guidelines. Okay, well, the guidelines are not clear.
Like, I read the guidelines and this is what I thought it meant.
Yeah, exactly. They're not that clear. So what are we doing? So, I mean, Drafted Digital is great about that. But yeah, I mean, figuring those things out is part of marketing. So you know where you can actually market your book and how you can market it with your keywords, with your covers.
I hate keywords.
I hate
if
keywords.
I could pay an assistant to just come up with keywords for me, I would. I hate keywords.
Well, and before, like, a lot of the keywords that I could use, Amazon doesn't want those anymore. Like,
now they get you dungeon.
Yeah, so it's like you got to now like figure out keywords that are going to get people who want that kink and that niche without saying certain
It's almost
things.
like we need a guide. Like if you want some BDSM domination, this is the word. This is what you need to search for, so we can all in this whole erotic genre be on the same page. Or if you want cuckold, or I don't think cuckold and hot wife are banned though, but like daddy is.
They're not,
and
but they're
all
not.
that.
No, they're not. Yeah, anything daddy is. Anal is. I mean, and I know that sounds
Really?
weird. Yeah, like it's whenever I've
I'm
used.
shocked.
Yeah, whenever I've used that, that's come up. As that book has been dungeoned, and when I take it off, it's fine. So I mean, and sometimes that's what we have to do is just like take words off because Amazon is not being clear about them, or whoever's reviewing your book at that time.
And see, that part is like in some ways, I would prefer their AI features to do the general reviewing, because then it at least follows like a set program, and I feel
Right.
like it would be more consistent. And then a person can review it if it's challenged. I don't
Right.
think, because what you and I find offensive, definitely other people would have a lower tolerance, right? It's so subjective, and I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's frustrating. Very frustrating.
Yeah. I mean, and finding, I mean, we have to find also places that are actually going to allow erotica to be advertised, like
Yeah.
different. And so that's a difficult thing too, because you can't do normal ads through Amazon, and you have to be careful with what you're doing on.
You know, I
Facebook.
actually got Orc for Halloween got approved, and one of my cheating husbands got approved for an ad.
That's good. I mean, I can see where the orc did.
I know, right?
Surprised.
Logan's like, there's no way that's going to get approved, your cheating husband, but it did.
Yeah,
it did,
that
and I
one's
could not
amazing.
believe it. But I can't.
Yeah.
I have to go back. I think it was like sleeping with one of my coworker ones, like not any of the stepdaughter's friend ones. None of those.
Yeah.
Because I'll push the line, right? But it's always the friend.
Yeah.
Or the roommate or something like that. But this one I think was like two consenting like adults in a workplace one that got approved.
Yeah.
But you see the revenue does come from the clicks. Like I don't always feel like I make my money back each month on them, but it gets my name out there, which I feel overall helps because you get the series buy-throughs, and then like the marketing is also like the big picture marketing, not that micro immediate.
Right, which is, I mean, that's hard too. And I mean, everything that we do, like from posting random stuff on our different social medias, whether it's about us personally or it's about our books, it's all part of the marketing aspect of it. And I mean, this is part of it as well, doing our podcast. I mean, we enjoy doing it because it's our time that we actually get to talk to each other face to face.
Right.
But it's also, I mean, it is part of marketing.
It's a good way for us to get to, or our readers to get to know us.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, and then so you also got to look at it, because there's also our business models, our individual models also have things that aren't book related. So how do we go to marketing like the Substacks, or I mean, not Medium anymore since it's gone to hell, but the Reams or the OnlyFans? I can't believe there's literature on OnlyFans. That shocks me.
Yeah,
but
there is. Yeah.
I don't go to OnlyFans, so I wouldn't know. But all these different, the Patreons, how do you think us authors, like, what are your thoughts on that with that marketing? Because I know I have a little different ways compared to some of my colleagues when we all talk about it.
I mean, that one is hard.
It is.
Because it is mainly you're looking at your social media, like following is a big part of it. And that's where you're posting it. That's where you're getting your reads. That's where you're getting your followers. But it's, I mean, putting it in newsletters is.
Newsletters are really important.
Yeah, that's a key thing. And just being consistent about writing and getting it out there too. My Substack, it's hard to get those followers who want to pay monthly, because on Medium they could pay like for everybody and get all of this stuff, but it's not worth it for us anymore because they're just basically.
I don't know if I'm going to hit the $10 threshold this month. I cannot believe that.
I'm not. Like, I know I'm not.
I can't comprehend why they think this is okay.
And this is the first time that I haven't ever like made at least $10. I mean, even when I was first started doing it, on Medium and had no followers hardly at all. And so it just amazes me that
Yeah.
this is where we're at, almost exactly 2 years later.
Yeah, I
This is where
mean,
it's
I'll
came.
be at 2 years in March, so
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, actually we've passed my 2 year, like a couple
let's say,
days
weren't you
ago.
in December?
Yeah, no, it was in like when I first published my first one, it was January like 23rd or something. So, um, but so yeah, it's 2 years and it's horrible. I don't even like going on there anymore because it's just so depressing. Because you see the
It
reads, I
is.
see the reads, I see the follows, I see the likes, I see the comments on stories, and I see no payment.
Get a penny. A penny, a penny, a penny.
Yeah,
Like,
and so it's not worth it to me. And I hate that because it is a great place for readers. It is not a good place for writers. And they
Alex
basically say that.
went over to Vocal. Alex went over to Vocal, and he's testing it out because I don't know if it's worth my time to double. I mean, I guess since I'm already writing, it doesn't really hurt anything. It's like what 40 cents or 40 seconds to copy paste, move over.
Hmm.
He's testing it out. He doesn't seem to love it, but he's not like complaining about it like Medium as much. And they have if you pay, then you can get subscribers and then your payouts more. But they have a free one where you don't have to pay and you can still get paid. So that might be something to like look into. I don't know. I think
Yeah,
Leonora's over there too,
she
maybe.
does it. Yeah, she does it too. I know
But
that Ranch had looked at it before. I'm not sure if I don't think he's doing it, but I know he had looked at it.
I wish there was a way on Substack where you could make a collective and like it just and Stripe would automatically distribute out the money and like 10 people could come together and say, here, $5 a month, we'll all take 50 cents or whatever.
Yeah.
I wish there was a way to do something like that.
Yeah. I mean, I guess
It's
there is
just,
like you could have a publication and have other writers on it, and then you just split whatever
but then you
subscribers
got to
come
give
through.
your personal information, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
That's the crutch of it all is Draft to Digital will split the profit. Amazon won't, you know? Medium was all profit sharing. It's frustrating.
Yeah, it is. It is because I mean it's a lot to expect people to and then to pay for all of like $5 a month for 20 people. I mean, because they're
And
not just going to reach you. And so it
right.
makes no sense why, I mean, if they're going to do that, then just go buy the books.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. If you have people that will always buy your books, if you joined like mine, if they're always going to buy my books, $5 a month will get you all my books because I do them all ahead of time, right? But not everybody does that. Not everybody has that same methodology because everybody has their own marketing plan, you
Right.
know? And
Yeah.
so it's just frustrating. I like to think of Substack as a way to like kind of keep me in check some ways, like to make sure I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But then the feedback, because writing without Substack is very hard for me now because I
Yeah.
need that feedback.
I mean, I get more of that on Medium than I did on Substack.
Really?
On Substack. Yeah. I mean, I get some on Substack. Mostly it's like private messages that I get. Like they'll message me and stuff, but um I would get more on Medium before than I did on Substack.
It's just a shame what it's done. But
Yeah.
back to finding new ways to market. So I'm definitely using Medium only for marketing.
I mean, that's all it's really worth. And I mean,
Now, sadly.
I'm not even going to make what I pay them each month, which is just insane to me. I mean, that's just crazy.
And it's not like there's not readers, because there are.
There are, and I mean, you can see your reads, and you can see
I've gotten
like
so
your
many
views.
new followers and readers that I don't know where I've recognized these names because they've been on other people, but they've never like liked or commented on mine. And
Yeah,
I'm like, what the hell?
yeah,
And my old stuff is getting reads. I love when my
mine
old
too.
stuff gets reads, but wow, it's
Yeah,
sad.
it is.
So
It is. So
one,
I like rarely post on there. It's just marketing stuff. Like I'll post like the first chapter of something. And I mean there's
yeah,
always a climax in it, so it's not like I'm like leaving people hanging, but there's not the full story. There's only one climax. That's all you get.
Not the full 3 to 5.
Yeah. So, because I mean, it doesn't make sense for me to spend that time there.
No, absolutely it doesn't. And
And
then
I hate it for readers because I like, there are some who are very supportive.
very supportive. And I'd rather just give them the book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that's what I did with the Hot Wife Cruise, because I didn't post it on Substack, and all of those people are so supportive of me. I just gave them the book.
Yeah.
Because that's just
good.
I'd much rather have that loyalty from the follower. And I feel like that's also a form of marketing, because it's kind of you showing your readers like what kind of person you are.
Right. No, it's definitely a great way to market as well. And I mean, and it's the same way if you do like free books. I mean, that gets readers to follow you, hopefully buy more.
But I don't like I have my perma free book, right? But I don't like giving away free books like every month.
Oh no.
You know? Or
I don't think that's a good plan.
Every book in your catalog away free at some point. So I like to stick to my Fantastic, my my Hot Wife Adventure one, and then like maybe one or two others.
Yeah.
I don't like spreading it out too much, because then everybody will get to know that and they're like, well, what's the point of reading your stuff now? I'll just wait for it to become free. And that's not the image that I want, because I feel like that devalues you in some way.
It does. I mean, you have to value your own product and yourself.
Exactly.
And it takes a lot of time. And so if you're just like, you just finish a book and you're putting it out for free automatically, or doing like a free sale coming up soon, it doesn't really make a lot of sense.
No.
It should be used for people to buy the rest of your series, which is the point in a permanent free, like first of the book.
Right.
But like doing like Kindle deals or Kindle, countdowns and things like that are great for certain times of the year if you're doing marketing. Like doing with Bookspray, I do a Kindle countdown and you do too, like their 99-cent pack. I mean, because you're doing the marketing there and it makes sense, but I'm not going to do all of my books are not going to be free somewhere. They're just,
no. All of my books probably will be 99 cents at some point in their life.
Yes.
Yes. But it generally will be the first two books in the series, mostly.
Right.
Yeah. Because I always feel like when you're writing a series, your first ones are going to be probably your weakest, because you're starting out, you're feeling like what that's going to be like, and you'll get stronger as the series goes on. And so, at least in my head, I feel like that's how I am. And so I'll do the first couples, because, you can take a taste of it and see if you like it on me almost in some ways, But then each book is better than the last. And so, I don't know. I feel like it works for me and my readers, but I couldn't do it every month having something new free. Couldn't do it.
No, I couldn't do that either. For me, it doesn't make sense. Now, if it makes sense for other people and they are making money off of it, then great. But it just doesn't for me.
But 10 years ago, I probably would have done that. I probably would have thought that's a great way to get your name out, because I would have valued the exposure over the consistency and the loyalty of the customers.
Yeah,
and I don't feel like that's where I'm at now.
And I think sometimes when people are doing that too, they're not having like as many releases as we are.
That's true too.
So I think that makes a bigger difference, because, it's kind of whenever there's a new book that comes out, they have it a certain amount of time that's free so that they can get the reviews or they can get and I get that. But I feel like if you don't have a back catalog for people to buy through, what's the point?
Right.
So I don't know. It's like a catch-22, because I get why you're doing it to get your name out there and to get the reviews. But if there's not other stuff there's only a couple books left for you to for people to buy. Does it really make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know. everybody's going to do what's best, what
They
they feel
do.
is best for them.
And that's the best part. In this industry, it can be different for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody truly has their own individual journey. But I told Logan on our joint parts, like, I do not want any part of untying the knot to be free. We can do our 99-cent deals, we can do all that, but I value these too much to give away for free.
Yeah.
Unless it's to like ARC readers. Now, an ARC team, that is where I think we need to put some time and effort into.
I agree. Like that, yeah, definitely an ARC team is great for marketing and for getting those readers who are going to review your stuff, also give you great feedback. And so you can grow. So yeah, I definitely think that is a huge like marketing strategy.
And not that this is like an untapped market, because there's definitely people doing it. But one I think a lot of people overlook, especially maybe people we associate more with, is Facebook.
Yeah.
Those smut groups, my God. Those women are
because I think like
and they are amazing.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Yeah. I think like lots of times that it's because we think about the fact that Facebook doesn't let you really market.
Yeah.
And so you don't think there's that group there for you, or you think about like erotica being more like you have more men readers depending on what it is that you're writing. I think I have an equal amount of readers of both men.
I'm really hoping to gain some females, but I definitely have more men.
Yeah. I think I have an equal amount, but I think the more that I go into like the hot wife and cuckold, I'm probably
you're gonna get more men.
Yeah.
You're gonna have more men. So welcome to the fun.
But like all of my other stuff, I feel like I had like an equal amount of men and women. But so I don't know. Those are good groups to do that. And you don't really have
and they're great
aspect. Yeah, you don't have that on Twitter or on like Blue Sky or wherever.
You really
else.
don't.
You don't.
Well, and the best part about them, there are some groups that are like pro author posting. Then there's some groups that are strictly reader requests. And so you can really kind of tailor what you're doing, which is great. And you can literally put in as much effort as you want into it, and it costs you nothing.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
I don't know. I think that's not an untapped market, but one people forget and ignore a lot.
I think that I agree with that completely. I do think.
And you also, I think people forget how exciting readers are when an author talks to you and when they interact with you and when they like your posts on Facebook or things like that, because you just don't think about it. And so I do try to like take time out of my week, at least 1 or 2 days, to like go through and read people's posts or comment on just like the news feed, not just in those groups, but the news feed itself, because you never know what building a rapport looks like to people.
No, and that's great. And that's also like comes back to like that normal like marketing strategy. People buy from who they like.
Yes.
And
because part of it's selling your personality. Like part of this podcast is teaching people who we are, like what we like, what our interests are. It's us on display, and that sells.
Yeah. So I think that's like something we always forget is that we are a brand, and
we are.
And no matter where we're at on our social medias, we have to kind of look at what we're trying to portray there. But also we want people to see us. And I think that's where like this comes in handy, and commenting on people's posts and things like that, because that's us. That's not part of the brand. That's us doing that.
And it's also why like I try, like when it's different, like I'm very into football this season, right? So I'll make my posts unapologetically, because that's me. After February, I'll have to find something new to post about because we'll be done for a while. But you have to find you, and you have to find what you're comfortable sharing. And you definitely can't share everything, because that puts people off too.
It does. You want to share the positive aspects of your life. Or you don't want to share, because nobody wants to see like this depressing person all the time. They don't want to see you complaining, and like, they just don't want. Nobody wants to see that. I don't want to see it. And I'm fine. I am completely fine if you have these issues and you want to come talk to me privately, or I'm going to talk privately. But I don't want to see it on my timeline. It's why I mute like so much stuff like that's happening in the world, because this is my place to have fun.
Right.
to like,
And I think we
you
forget
know,
that.
yeah, to interact with like other people and have fun and not like be worried about the world right now. I mean, I
Exactly.
get that outside of my social media,
Right.
which is where you should be getting it anyways. Your worldviews should not be your
And I
social
think
media alone.
yeah, no joke. But I think like where it's a little different when you look at your indie versus your mainstream authors, whether it's romance, mystery, whatever, they all have management teams
Yeah.
managing their social media to promote that image, to promote that brand. And you take some, like, I follow pretty closely Catherine Coulter. And right now, she's also very into football and she's not very happy. And she let everybody know that in her newsletters and stuff. But that is something like, it's not horrible, right? It's not
No, I don't think that's
suppliers,
like,
it's not
yeah,
politics, but it's part of her. And so I always try to emulate these authors that I have grown up with and really look up to, because they're clearly doing it right. And so they're showing you parts of you without showing you the negativity of everything. Because we all have opinions, good, bad, different, but we don't need to
no,
see them, you know? And
right.
and I think that helps our branding a lot, just because we're always positive. And then
Yeah,
if something is bad, then it's like a one off and people care and they check on you, but you go right back to being positive. And I don't know, it
right.
kind of comes down to like they say, what is it, like 3 in 10 posts need to be about marketing, the other 7 need to be about you, and none of
Yeah,
those 7 need to be negative.
yeah,
In a week's time
right.
or something. I think that's
Yeah.
what that lady taught us back in 2013, whatever her name was. I can't. Courtney. What was her name? Courtney Milan. Is that her name?
I
No,
don't remember. No.
I don't remember.
Um,
It was a long
but
weekend
yeah,
in Vegas.
no,
But
it was a
yeah,
long time ago too.
yeah, it was.
But yeah, I mean, I think that that's something that we don't really. That lots of times why it's important to have a separate, like if you're using your real name, um, you should have a separate social media for your author stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
because you don't want people in all of, because for safety too. I mean, it's
Yes,
not just because you don't want to turn off readers, it's also for your own like safety and
because there's
privacy.
some stalkers in erotica.
There is. I mean
You've
there
been
is in
subject
like
to a couple.
yeah, I have, and it's like and it does suck because it makes you like how you interact after. It
Yeah,
it like affected how I interact with people after that, because it was,
because it
I
tainted
mean,
it a bit.
it did, and I hate that that did that, but you know, it's I try to get past it, and I do for the most part, but there's still, it's like letting people get in and get close to you is harder after you've experienced the like the craziness of people.
And that all is part of marketing. You got to weigh it.
Yeah, you do, and
It's
how much you
hard.
want to put out there. So it's
That's why
hard.
I'm glad that we do so much as a crush brand. Because then there's kind of like some of that strength in numbers, because it's not just
Yeah.
like individual. So I do think that helps, even if it's just in my head, it helps.
Well, it
Yeah.
does, because it's also, I mean, like there's people can follow that, and they're not really getting like
Yeah.
everything. But if they want like our information for where we're writing, what we're doing, our events, it's, that's a good place to get that. And
Yeah.
because not everybody who reads wants to deal with our, with your
My Chiefs.
complaining about the Chiefs and me complaining about falling on my ass like a million times. So I mean, not everybody wants those.
Not everybody's a
Like
dog person.
right?
Some
They
people
don't
want
want
to
to
hear
see.
about cats. They don't care about,
Yeah, yeah, they don't
Tucker
want to
and
see
Toto.
Tucker. So I mean, so those are, yeah, they can just get all that stuff on Crush. They don't have to
Yeah.
get it from us. But
So what do you think is the best marketing tool you have used this go around in writing?
social media, because I hated it before and I never used it. think social media is the best. Like, I think it started with like Medium really helped
Yeah.
grow a following, and consistency is I think those are my biggest like marketing tools.
I was looking at the Fadika report this morning. You have like 2,000 followers on TikTok? What the hell? Wait, that's nuts. I was like, how did she do that?
I don't know.
I was like, what
No
the
idea.
hell?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I mean, that's great though.
Yeah, I mean, that helps too, like, but I mean, I think the biggest part is really it was started with Medium was probably the biggest, like, because I gained followers there who followed me
Right.
other places. And Twitter, X, whatever, is probably the biggest social media for like erotica at the time, like when I started doing it again. And it probably still, I mean, it still is. Because you're able to do your links, and like not every social media you can do your links, and that makes it more difficult when you're like, go to my bio and pick to get the link. I mean, it's like nobody wants to do that. I mean, people want things easy, so so that's an issue. Like with Instagram, like you can't really have like a link. Yeah, and so like Facebook and Twitter, you can. So I feel like those are the easiest for like buy through. They see it, I can click on it, easy.
So I feel like the next thing we need to weigh is that damn check mark, because it gives us more than 180 characters. As much as I don't want to pay, I hate that Facebook, I can post so much more. Yeah. And I feel like that so much more when you're selling is kind of better, because you don't have to condense a blurb. You don't have to condense a thought. You can just, or if there's multiple ways to do something, or more books in a series you want to link. So it's annoying, but I feel like that might be, I mean, I thought about it too. I have to bite on.
Yeah. I mean, I think about that too, and it's
annoying.
It's just annoying that you have to do that, because I don't want to give anybody any more money. I don't want to give these people any more money. It's like I'm already, I don't know. So it's hard.
It is hard.
But yeah, I've thought about that as well, because, you know, an editing would be nice.
It would be so nice to be able to edit, because I have sometimes the wrong words capitalized. Yeah. And I don't notice until an hour and a half later.
Yeah, or I noticed it like the second after I hit send. I'm like, and so yeah.
So I really missed Hootsuite a lot, because I used it so much back in the day. Fadika has come really close to it, except the whole, it won't post to your profile on Facebook. It'll post to a page, but not a profile. But that's okay. I have found it so much easier to make sure that I at least get the posts out that I need to get out for us. And then everything else is just engagement. So I feel like I stay within that like 10 post rule. 3 of them are marketing, because I'm posting every day somewhere. Yeah. And so it has really, I think, helped. But I think Facebook has helped me more the latter half of the year, once I became active in those groups, more so than Twitter. Twitter, I feel like, really helps me for my community of authors, my feeling that I'm not in this alone. And I feel like those readers there do read us, but the people there are not so much only readers, they're author/readers. Whereas Facebook, I feel, is really truly more about the reader and not the author.
Yeah.
And so a good balance between the two, I really feel, completes my needs on the social media.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's true too. I also think our newsletter has helped, because I feel like I've gotten more pre-orders when I put in my newsletter.
I feel like it's done some too. It definitely has, especially after we like call out the people that don't click on it.
Right.
But
yeah. So
I just
like
uploaded
has helped.
65 more for us this week from BookFunnel.
Oh, okay.
That's not bad. We're climbing up again after we deleted.
Right.
So many.
But I mean, that's just part of the game.
It is. And there's so much like almost like back office stuff that you have to do to stay relevant.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, cleaning up the newsletter is huge because I mean, I just did it like a month ago, and then you doing it again like recently in the last few weeks, like cleaning up people. It's just,
I mean, I think we probably got rid of almost 100, 200 people.
yeah, I got rid
And
of
I would have
like a month
thought
ago was probably over 100. So we're
I
probably
got
close to,
150 this last round, so
yeah,
maybe
so
closer to
yeah,
300.
it's just crazy. But I mean, that's good because they're not buying, so we don't want to have like all these people on here and we don't want to annoy them by sending them our
Exactly.
newsletter if they're not opening it, and we also don't want to get to the point where we have to pay for like extra money
Especially if it's
to
not
send it to people
producing.
who, yeah,
Exactly. Especially if it's not
yeah,
producing anything for us. But and then the newsletter is like its own little balance. Some people are monthly, some people are bi-weekly, some people are every week, and finding that balance.
yeah, right. And I mean, and I feel like book funnel has helped a lot too
It has so much.
because like, and always getting the downloads, I always end up having a few buy-throughs after I've done one of the promos through BookFunnel. I think it's an amazing tool
But
for
you know why?
authors.
What I think it is because I think the people that go to BookFunnel are there to find authors. Whereas
Yeah,
the people, not anything bad with Stuff Your Kindle Day, but I don't think the people that go to Stuff Your Kindle Day are there for the fine. They're there for the free. And
right.
that's okay. Be there for the free. I mean, I
Yeah,
definitely have free stuff there if you wanted to read it, right? But it's a different
yeah,
type of mentality. And I think Kindle readers, they're more the Kindle Unlimited, the stuff your Kindle, things like that. Whereas the book funnels, the Barnes and Nobles, the Apple readers, they don't really have any of those projects geared towards that. So they're more of the buy through readers looking for new authors. That's just my take on it. And I think
yeah,
that's why I have more men because I gear my stuff towards the latter instead of the former.
right. And do you think, like, with the Stuff Your Kindle days, that because it is so many books that people can get at one time, that people are not really, I mean, they're not really reading them, they're just getting them. And so, like,
I
it's,
don't know because back in the day when I didn't have kids and I would read a book a day, I would definitely go through and find the frees, but I was looking for authors. And I
yeah,
wasn't looking just like for free. So I would download 15, 20 books that would get me through a month and then I'd find a new author to read. So I have to think there are people like that and it's not just there for the free
yeah.
at some
I mean, I
point.
feel like there are probably some like that, but it's not completely, um, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are just getting the free books, and they have so many of them that they don't read through all of them that they have.
I just don't know.
But
But I
yeah,
don't think it is part of the marketing strategy I want to do because I'm not looking for those kind of readers.
right.
And I think those readers aren't looking for me because I think those readers are looking more for the novel size. And I don't write
Yeah.
novel size erotica. I mean, I just
No.
don't.
No.
And size
Yeah.
matters in what people's attention spans hold. And again, that's where not to knock on guys, but they want to just get off. And I'm happy
Yeah.
giving it to them. Where women, we need more. We need more depth and more layers. And I love that as a reader. I love it, but it takes more to produce it as an author.
Right. It does. And
So,
that's why we do those in between,
right.
but they're not
We try
always.
to, exactly. Not
Yeah.
always. And also why my longer stuff is in Kindle Unlimited because it's geared towards those women that want those things.
Yeah.
Because I know that's that market. And we have enough in our catalogs that we can pick a market to market to
Yeah.
and do what we need. So, I don't
Yeah.
know, it's a lot. Marketing is such a pain. Should have paid more
It is a
attention in
lot.
college. Do you think
Yeah.
um, you've had a lot of crossover skills from workforce to help in your author force? I feel like I have.
Yeah. Because I've done a lot of like I wasn't
Yeah.
personally doing the sales, but I had to train salespeople. Well, I guess I was doing the sales, but I had to train salespeople. I had to train like, and
It's just
so
at the
like,
events too.
yeah, and have to do the events, um and having to learn how to do that quick little elevator pitch learning to do that. I think that all helps. And it also helps the business aspect of like being in management before and having to, the back end stuff with still getting a daily multitasking, juggling.
I definitely think
wearing many hats.
Yeah. I definitely think working at United Rentals, a construction company, has significantly helped my ability to write erotica successfully and manage that business because of the hats, because of the selling, because of all the different things I was required to do. I mean, and you wouldn't really think, and I think that's where some people like misstep, is they don't really think your regular job transfers to your side job, or they don't think of it as a side job at all. They just think of it as a fun hobby.
Right. And I think, that's the difference too.
Yeah.
We do think of this as more of a career.
Well, it is a job.
Yeah.
we want to be able to retire from writing.
Because, it's a lot of work. So it's not easy. While I enjoy doing it, it's, I don't know. It's more than just a hobby, obviously. Or we wouldn't be putting all these things out there. I'd just be writing. And whoever reads it. Not worry about it.
And you know what, though? To the people that can do that, like, major kudos to you.
Yeah,
like, I wish I could do that. I wish I could just not care and write whatever I want to write and be happy.
Yeah. Yeah, and and that's great if that's like your plan and that's like your goal. I think that it's awesome. Everybody has different plans and different goals. And this is how I make a living. So
right.
I have to do it. I don't get a choice to like decide today I'm not going to write.
Our days off take money away from us, for sure.
Exactly. So, or do something like every day we're doing something for the business.
Right.
It's very rare, even like on vacations, we're doing something.
We have to be all the time.
Yeah.
But that's all marketing. Every part of it goes toward that.
Yeah.
And whether you're erotica or not.
Yeah.
That's an in-depth thing for a quick podcast.
Yeah. Yeah.
Went by a little fast, but it felt like we covered a lot.
We did. Yep. Was a lot.
It was. Well, I guess we want to wrap up?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Well, don't forget, you can subscribe and follow us online at our social media profiles under Crush Pub or Crush Publications. And you can go to our website at crushpublications.com.
And our sponsor is the Hot Wife Cruise with 7 different erotica authors. And they're releasing the first few are released now. So you can pick them up on Amazon.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you for joining us today on Crushcast.
Be sure to follow us so you can catch our next episode in 2 weeks.
Thanks to our sponsor this week and to all of you for listening.
Peace, love, and crush on.